After crossing off Glory Hunter Asia's most difficult trophy, it was time to resign as manager of Jeonbuk. With only China and Australia remaining in the Glory Hunter Asia Challenge, the only job that would be relevant to us was the Western United FC job, which we promptly applied for. It didn't take long afterwards for Western United FC to offer us a job interview. And after a successful interview, we were offered a 2-year contract by Western United FC, which meant that for season 13, we would be heading down under. So I have never managed in the A-League before, and the first thing I see when accepting the job is this inbox message here, A-League contract and registration information. And this is reminding me a little bit of the MLS. So there are designated contracts that the board is going to determine if a player is of sufficient quality to warrant designated status. And we have 2 designated slots. There's also a salary cap, but we can't have players on scholarship contracts if they're under 23 and Australian. There's a guest player contract, which I have no idea what this means. We can also have a salary cap allowance, £2,000 per week on homegrown players. I am so confused at what all of this means. I'm looking at the squad here, and it looks like we have full-time contracts, youth contract scholarships, and we only have 1 designated. I think they said we can have 2 designated players, so we have another spot to fill there. Looking at the rules, so scholarship players don't need to be registered, guest players don't need to be registered. I feel like this is just going to be a situation when I'm going to get to the squad registration and have no idea what's going on and just hope I've done everything correctly. Funnily enough, we're not in a bad position. We have room in the payroll here. I don't know how the payroll works though, since there's a salary cap, so that'll be interesting to see. And we've got £1 million in the transfer budget, so we actually have room to work with. And I might end up moving that transfer budget into the payroll. I'll look at our squad. Most of them are Australian, unsurprisingly. But our best player is our goalkeeper, which isn't great. We have a young winger here, Uros Popovic. He looks pretty decent. He's got good physicals. I don't really know much about the level currently of Australia, though. Let's actually look at to see where is our team comparatively. So in the season preview, we're kind of a mid-table side, but last season, we finished down in 11th. So this is a team that really struggled last season. Honestly, though, I think it's a squad better than 11th. Ali Al-Mali here, like 16 finishing, 16 dribbling, good composure and off the ball. He looks pretty decent. I mean, there's definitely spots here that we can improve, but I think this is a better team than a team that finished second to last place. So the competitions in Australia are going to be the A-League and the Australian Cup. And the way that the A-League works is you play the regular season, and then the top 6 teams in the regular season qualify for the final series, which is then the grand championship, so to speak, of the Australian League. So as you guys can see here, this is last season's table. So the top 6 qualified for the championship series. And they literally, the final game is called the grand final. And CC Mariners were the winners of the grand final. So for this challenge, we need to win the grand final. The other competition that we need to win for this challenge is the Australia Cup. And it looks like the Australia Cup is played at the beginning of each season. So if we look at last season's schedule, they were knocked out in early August in the Australian Cup first round. So it looks like this is almost a preseason tournament. It would be really lovely if we could play it early and win it early. Like, if we could knock that out of the way. I don't think that's going to happen given where our team is. We're definitely going to need to build the team. It'd be nice if we could finish off Australia in a single season. And honestly, the biggest thing that we want to do for that is because this is confusing. But all right, that is my job to figure out. I'm going to play through the off season, and I will see you all at the beginning of the A-League season. All right, we have moved forward to the beginning of season 13, where I've spent £1.3 million, but most players have come in on a free, actually. So our big signing of the summer is Kohai Kuroda, the 21-year-old Japanese player who for this level is a very well-rounded, really good, solid kind of advanced playmaker or attacking midfielder. We are kind of building a tactic a little bit around him. But we've also brought in a bunch of players on a free. We've brought in Paul Carr here. I think he's a really solid looking kind of advanced forward on attack. We've brought in Harry Hayes, who's a good kind of backup striker. We brought in Franco Lino here. He's going to be kind of our starting left back. Takayumi Yamazaki comes in as a really solid central defender with really good jumping reach and strength. But our three big signings of the transfer window are Connor Wooldridge. He's going to be starting on the right-hand side as a winger. Great pace, good acceleration, agility, good crossing and dribbling. He's probably the most exciting player we've signed. After that, we've brought in Miho Sadikovic. He comes in as a forward, a young forward, who with great pace and decent holy trinity, he should be able to get in behind and allow us to play a little bit more direct. And finally, we've brought in Miodrag Derasovic, who's going to help lock down our center of midfield. So those players together have led me to kind of a 4-2-3-1 tactic, which is a tactic I almost never play in Football Manager. It's actually not a tactic I'm super comfortable with. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point I move towards like a 4-2-4 or 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. I don't always get the best out of this attacking mid, but I feel like I need to because we have Kohei Kuroda. He's one of the best players in the squad, so I want to try to get the best out of that position. So we've gone with this 4-2-3-1 tactic here. And it does seem like our transfers have made a big impact on the squad. We are now projected to win the A-League or at least finish first in the regular season. So I'm feeling confident moving into this season. I will say though, the squad registration rule stuff is confusing. I haven't figured out the salary cap because for whatever reason, each time the message comes up, it seems like our salary cap changes. But one thing I do like about Australia is that if I go to the transfers here and transfer history, so the players who have left here, like Lewis Reed, he actually just left the club on a free transfer. So if they're not registered for the league, like if you can't find a registration spot, you just get rid of them. They just leave by mutual termination. So here's actually an example of that. So Oscar Riddle here was just released. His contract was just terminated because I couldn't find a spot for him in our squad registration, which is nice because I feel like it helps against unhappy players, which when you're trying to like overhaul the squad, like we're doing a lot of these like Glory Hunter teams, it's kind of just to be able to like out of sight, out of mind a player. But anyways, we've had a really good preseason and we are moving into the A-League season. The only thing I'm very confused about at the moment was that last season, the Australian Cup was played around this time and we haven't played any Australian Cup matches, which I'm very confused about. And if we look at the Australian Cup, it is going on. Like there are matches played on 8-4, 8-9, 8-10, and 8-14. And the Australian Cup was completely finished. Like the final was played and we just weren't in it. I have no idea why we were not in the competition. I assume it has something to do with us finishing 11th in the league last season, so maybe we didn't qualify for it. But like there are second division teams in the Australian Cup, so I don't know why we didn't get in. So hopefully next season that isn't something that is an issue for us. But that all being said, we're at the beginning of the season. Our team is looking pretty strong. I think players who are going to be important are Sadikovic, Kuroda, Durasovic, and one player who I'm really excited who we had previously was Ali Al-Mali. I think he's actually going to start up top for us, or at least he's going to rotate a lot with Sadikovic. We're at the beginning of the season. I'm going to play through the season, and I will see you at the end of things. Our season got off to a difficult start, losing in the opening match 1-0. This was followed up by a 0-0 draw to Western Sydney Wanderers, a 2-1 home loss to last season's champions, the CC Mariners, and a 1-1 draw to Wellington Phoenix. These results had me worried that the tactic we had was not working, so I decided to switch to something I was more familiar with, going with a 2 up top, allowing Al-Mali and Sadikovic to play up top together, and moving towards a 4-2-4 formation that had worked well in the past. That change in tactic gave us the momentum we needed to finish the season top of the A-League table, meaning that we were into the championship semifinals where we would play Wellington Phoenix. The first leg of the semifinals was at Wellington Phoenix and it ended 1-1 in a tight affair. But in the second leg, an 8th-minute goal from Sadikovic sent us through to the A-League Finals Grand Final, where we would be taking on Perth Glory. All right, so we have made the A-League Finals Grand Final. I really like the naming convention of the A-League to call it the Grand Final. It sounds so like champion, like winning it is going to be such a huge achievement. But we are up against Perth Glory, a team we have history with from the Mendiola save. But we will be looking to defeat Perth Glory in the grand final here. Just to show you guys kind of the tree here. So in the semifinals, Perth Glory defeated Melbourne Victory. There's also interesting an elimination final here, which is how we ended up playing Wellington Phoenix. But Perth Glory also got a bye, which they got that bye from finishing in second place in the league. So the top two teams in the league who I think definitely deserve to be here are the teams that are going up against each other. So like other big matches we've done in Glory Hunter Asia, we are going to do this as a live match in the episode here. And this is the team that's going out. We have our full squad available to us. I also want to note, I still have not figured out squad registration because once again, the salary cap thing was all messed up. And as you can see here, Kohai Kuroda has left the club. So after we switched to the 4-2-4 formation, like he didn't play a whole lot after that. So there's another transfer window and squad registration period, like in later on in the league in January. And after January, for some reason, even though we didn't sign anyone, we were over the salary cap. So Kuroda has left. I have no idea why any of this happened, but it did. So if you're looking at the squad here and wondering why Kuroda isn't in it, I don't really know why either. But nevertheless, we've been successful without him. We are in the grand finals. This is the team that's going out. Honestly, everyone's been brilliant. Sadikovic and Mali in particular have been a really good pair up top, but I think our star player is actually Woodridge here. He's been, even though he doesn't have the best ratings, I think he's been one of the best players of this season, and he's a really exciting player. He has 11 assists this season. I like him a lot. But all right, let's see if we can get another trophy for the trophy cabinet. I will see you all in match. Perth here, looking to carve out the first. Oh, we've won it well. 17th minute here. This is really the first opportunity. All Molly going out wide to Woodbridge. It's a good block, but it goes back out here to Popovic. Out wide to Verencombe. Good ball. Great shot. That's a great save by the Perth goalkeeper. Perth here going long. We should win that. Great win on the header there. Can we go down the left-hand side? That's a good run here. Good ball into the box. Well cleared. To the top of the box here. We should get a shot. Oh, that's a good block. Can we get another shot? It's another good save from the keeper. He's having a blinder. Well, it was a really cagey first half. A match of very few highlights so far. We've had a couple of chances that we probably should have scored. But we'll fire up the team, get him back out, see if we can get a goal here in the second half. We might have an early opportunity in the second half here as we look to get down the left-hand side. Popovic. And that's a good ball in behind. Molly's in. Oh, Molly has scored and we take the lead. Oh, it's offsides. Never mind. I think the ref had his flag up. Yeah, it's offsides. That's, how close was it actually? The ball gets played. Oh, he's way offsides. Yeah, that is definitely the correct call. We are starting to get some real pressure here at the beginning of the first half as the ball goes in, back post. That is a penalty. Oh, that was a very innocuous looking play, but we have a pen. And the A-League final, the grand final. That should be a pen. Come on, VAR. And the penalty is awarded. Let's go. For the chance to take the lead in the A-League grand final. It is going to be Al Mali. And he finds the back of the net and we lead 1-0. Let's go. We have absolutely dominated this second half. Good ball into the back post. That's a great chance. Oh, we should have scored. That could have been two and sealed the victory. And we are coming towards the end of the match here. Just a few minutes left. We have absolutely dominated this game. This actually might be Perth's first highlight of the match. I don't remember them even having a shot on target so far, or at least in the highlights. But it's cleared there. Ooh, it could be our chance here. Can we get a counter? One more goal would definitely seal the win here, but until then, Perth obviously still have the opportunity. It's a great ball in, and it's bounced over their right back. Can we get it to the edge of the box? This is a good shooting opportunity. Another good save from their keeper. And we are over allotted time. The match should be over. Come on, ref, blow the whistle. There it is. And we have won the A-League Grand Final. We dominated this match, really. Perth did not have many opportunities. We have comfortably won in the A-League Grand Final. And we are going to get a trophy lift in Australia. And we will see us lift the trophy here. Another trophy lift. We'll get green confetti falling down from the skies. And we have one more trophy to win in Australia. Well, we can cross the A-League off of the Glory Hunter Asia Trophy cabinet. A 1-0 win over Porth Glory. And we're in a pretty good position here. So this is how our squad did over the course of the season. And I have to say, I really like how our squad is looking. In particular, our front four of Almali, Sadikovic, Popovic, and Woolbridge here. I don't think, given the salary cap rules, I don't think we need to make any signings in the offseason. We have £2.7 million in the transfer budget, and we have extra payroll here. But to be honest, I don't think we need to sign anyone. We'll move into season 14 here, but we had a good season, a really good end to the season. And the thing is, the Australian Cup is played at the beginning of the season. So as long as we're in the Australia Cup, which I would expect us to, I don't want to make a whole lot of signings because right now we have great team cohesion and a great club atmosphere. And I don't want to ruin that by signing players who might then need to gel with the squad. And all of a sudden, we're not playing as well in the Australia Cup. So as far as transfers are concerned, I think I'm pretty much just going to keep things as is, and I'm going to keep the squad as is. But anyways, I'm going to move forward to season 14, and hopefully we're on the Australia Cup. The beginning of season 14 came, and we were in fact in the Australia Cup first round, where our first match was against Acacia Ridge. But as the Australia Cup would be played throughout the months of August and October, we also had to contend with being in the Champions League Elite League phase. During this time, I also decided to make no signings as no players came in and no players went out. And this seemed to be a good idea as we won our first match in the Australia Cup 12-0. That victory took us through to the second round where we won 3-2 over Brisbane Roar in a match that we dominated. Victory in the second round meant that we had qualified for the quarterfinals. And with all the games during this period, I decided to prioritize the Australia Cup. And in the Champions League Elite, I was completely rotating the side so that I could start our best team in the Australian Cup. And this paid dividends as we won 2-0 over Adelaide United in the quarterfinals. We played Dijon, one of our former clubs, 2 days before the Australian Cup semi-final. And once again, I played a completely backup side that ended up losing 4-0. But back in the Australian Cup, we took on Melbourne City in the semi-finals and we won 2-0, which meant that prior to the start of season 14, we would take on Melbourne Victory in the Australia Cup final. All right, we are in the Australia Cup final to complete Australia and our first go at it. It's definitely been a strange beginning to the season. So if we look at the schedule here, we have mixed in all of these Australian Cup games with the Champions League Elite matches. And the Champions League Elite has gone very poorly. I have started backup teams in pretty much every match to just focus on the Australia Cup. But as you guys can see, we've already played 6 matches. We have 1 point. We're in last place. We are definitely going to finish in last place in the Champions League Elite League phase. However, for us, that's been fine because we've been able to start our best players in the Australia Cup matches, and we are in the Australia Cup final. And this is the squad that's going to be going out to play in the Australia Cup final. Once again, we're going to do this as a live match on episode here so that you guys can see it. But it's been a weird kind of run-in. So Callum Woodbridge here has actually not played recently. He's been out for 2 to 3 weeks. And he is currently injured, but he can play. And again, I think he's one of our best players. So I'm going to start Woodbridge despite the fact that he has an injury. This could either be a really good gamble or a really big mistake. Hopefully he doesn't get injured early on and we need to sub him out. So hopefully he's going to do really well. But the other big news here, and you guys might already see it, so Al Mali is starting up top with Harry Hayes. And the reason for that is because Sadikovic is on international duty currently. Sadikovic, who is arguably our best player, who last season got 12 goals in the league, and his partnership with Al Mali is really good. He is currently on international duty for another 2 days, which means he is going to miss the final. And on top of that, we have injuries to Darasovic here, who's our main ball-winning midfielder, and Aris Popovic, who is our left-sided attacking winger. So unfortunately, we are missing three of our best players, and arguably our best player is currently coming off of an injury. So we're in a bit of a weird position moving into the Australia Cup final. With that being said, I still believe we have a good enough team to win this. I really think that not making any transfers is going to pay dividends because, as you can see, club atmosphere is good. Probably not as good as it could be because we've lost a lot of games in the Champions League Elite, but we have great team cohesion. So hopefully all of those things are going to add up, and we'll see how we do in the Australia Cup final. I'll see you guys in the match. So we are in the black and green here. They are in the pink colored jerseys. As we look to work our way down the right-hand side, can we switch the point of attack here? We can keep going. All right. Don't know if I like that ball over the top. Melbourne Victory are playing a very narrow formation. So they're going to try to get through the center as they've done there. And we're definitely going to look to get around the width. As you guys can see there, they've got a very narrow formation. And another goal kick here as they'll look to go long. We've won that nicely. They have a lot of numbers in the middle. We're struggling to win the second ball, but we can be dangerous when we're able to get the ball down the left-hand and right-hand side. That's where we can overload. Let's say, there we go. Now we can go forward. This is the play. One more. That's the ball. That's where we have the space. Get the cross in. You don't need to shoot from there. Yeah, we're going to focus play down the left and right now. That's where the space is. That was a good opportunity, though. I think if he had crossed the ball in, we might have found the right opportunity. It's well cleared, back out wide. And that's the end of that highlight. Throw in for us here on the left. Can we get the cross in? It's a good cross. And Woodbridge has scored. He's got an injury, but he can still jump the highest and find the back of the net. And we lead 1-0 into added time at halftime. Can we find one more right before the end of the first half? No, that was the chance. We could have been leading 2-0, and it's going to be halftime right after that. What a goal that would have been. Oh, man. Well, we've had a good first half here. We've been the better side. We'll go into the second half. If we can get another half just like that one, we will lift the Australia Cup. The second half has moved along pretty quickly here, but Melbourne Victory playing it into the back post, and it is over the bar. Into the last 15, they've got a free kick. They have scored to tie things up. That is a disappointing goal to allow in a cup final off of a set piece. Well, it's 1-1 now. They absolutely have the momentum moving into the last portion of the match here. So they'll look to shoot here, and it's taken a deflection and gone wide. We are very fortunate, but Melbourne Victory have the momentum at this point. It is all of them. We have not had a foothold at all in the last 15 minutes of the match or so. The ball will go into the back post. All right, fortunately, we've cleared it. Well, We are headed to extra time. I think we're going to tell them that we're actually doing well because for whatever reason we were the underdogs in this match. But we have 30 more minutes to see if we can find a winner. We have certainly had our share of cup finals and the Glory Hunter series going to added time as the ball goes in. What a header from Connor Woolbridge! What a header! I did not think he had a chance of scoring that, but he has found the back of the net. He has played over 90 minutes with injury. And he is the absolute savior of this team. 2 headers. Let's go. Come on, guys. Just finish this match out now. We've got this. All right, we are into the second half of extra time. I've barely made any subs just because we don't have a whole lot of squad depth with all the injuries. So I'm just worried about making the subs. And I feel like we played well again. We're back to playing well. So I don't know how many more that I want to make. We are so close to the end here. Just get the ball forward and get it out. That's a terrible ball. Come on, guys. There's only a minute left. That's a really good ball. Is he offsides? He's got to be off. He's got to be off. Where's the AR? He's got to be off. He's not off. We've allowed a goal with 1 minute left. I should have made more subs. And it is going to go to pens, isn't it? We are going to go to penalties. Well, Melbourne Victory up first, and they've scored. Oh, this is going to be a nerve-wracking Australian Cup final. It comes down to pens. Alamali? Yes. 1-1. Let's go. And it will be Melbourne Victory again here. We'll see what happens. They've scored. I have big belief in Kelleher, our goalkeeper. He's one of our best players. I've got big belief in him. I think he's going to make a save. If we can score all our pens, which we've got that one there, I think he's going to be able to make a big save for us. Man, nerve-wracking here. But all right, Melbourne Victory up again. And they've scored. Good pens just all around. It is good stuff all around here. Woolbridge, he's already gotten 2 goals for us. Can he continue? He can. Right into the top corner. And we're all tied up again. Melbourne Victory. Come on, Kelleher. Stand big. Stand tall. Stand tall! He's made the save. Let's go! We just have to score our last 2 pens. Come on, Palmer. Yes, what a penalty! A save or a goal. And we have won the Australia Cup. Football Manager really likes to add in the, they really like to do the drama here. They always make the slow walk up. Really like to make it a dramatic finale. Oh, and he scored. Well, it will be up to our final penalty taker. And it will be Aaron Duran, the striker, the young striker, with the chance to win the Australia Cup for Western United FC. And it's a terrible penalty. It's so bad. Why has that just happened? That is so bad. And we go to extras. Kelleher, what a save! What an amazing save from Kelleher! That is absolutely brilliant. And we have another shot. And it will be Donald. One more chance to win the Australia Cup on penalties, sudden death penalties. And he scores! We've done it! We have won the Australia Cup! What a dramatic conclusion to the season. What a dramatic conclusion to Australia. But we will have another trophy lift. I can finally take a deep breath and a sigh of relief as we get another trophy lift for this episode. Well done, lads. Well done. Well, we almost threw that one away, but a 2-2 on pens win in the Australia Cup final, and we have completed Australia. I'm not gonna lie to you all, I don't think this is our best team, even relative to the league, and this has absolutely been the most confusing squad registrations for them all. But somehow, at Western United FC, with this squad, this has been arguably our most successful team. The thing is, we're at October, and with the way that the Australia League starts, it's sort of towards the end of other leagues. So, like if I go to the J League, for example, they're towards the end of the season. If I go to the K League, for example, they're towards the end of the season. And where we need to end up going is the Chinese Super League, and the Chinese Super League is getting towards the end of the season. So at this point, I'm probably going to end up resigning so that we can have those jobs open in the Chinese Super League. But there is one trophy left, and we need to get back to China. I will say one of the weird things about Glory Hunter Asia is that like you're trying to build teams in the short term, which is not how I normally play Football Manager. And then once you get success, you immediately leave. It's a shame because I do think this squad and this team are really good, but we need to finish things off in China. I'll probably end up having to play forward a little bit before we can get another job, but it is time to resign from Western United, and it is time to look for a new job. There's one trophy left. Let's add the two that we've gotten to the trophy cabinet for this episode. Moving to Western United has allowed us to add the A-League and the Australia Cup to our trophy cabinet. We're just one trophy away from completing the Glory Hunter Asia Challenge.